just like that, we're going to a map 3, just like my man Bach called out, and without a muted mic this time. Bach, you made a bold prediction. You know, I thought you was crazy. Van Silly did as well. I think the chat did too.
I need to lose weight now. My gut feeling was wrong.
Andbox are looking good, man. Going to a third map it's kind of like you know your stuff, Bach.
Yeah, this was still not as good as I would have liked to see from Andbox. A big part of that was pistol rounds. They didn't win any of the pistol rounds on this map. They struggled in that regard. They lost one of the pistol rounds in the last map as well, so that's going to be something as we move on over to the third and final map of Split that they're going to need to get under control. You know, we watched them lose the first few rounds, and then they just turned it on. That first half was a dominant showing from Andbox after that first little sprint from version 1. The second half, they had opportunities that they kind of left on the table. They lose the pistol round, and the round right after, they had an opportunity with an eco round to force a fight into the A site, and it was just seeming like a miscommunication. They knew that Phoenix had played aggressively on long because of a hot hands that came down to get orb control early on in the round after they picked up a kill from spawn on a long push. But they didn't clear backside at all. They kind of ran into sight and only focused on A main, which was really weird. They didn't put any emphasis on heaven. So Ye ran in with his back turn and got shot in the back. It was like little mistakes like that cost them rounds. But once they got the op in the hand of Ye, everything turned around. It was still close, but Andbox was able to force that third map.
Yeah,
you're right. And the comeback almost came after that. And Van Silly, your total thoughts about the match and the map that's coming up next, which is Split.
Yeah, so Andbox for me, you know, we didn't have a chance to say at the desk. I talked about version 1 spanking Sentinels 13-4, and Andbox said, don't forget, Andbox also beat Sentinels 13-4. But the reason why I wanted to give the edge for version 1 was that they used a brand new comp going into this series, and they're going to use a brand new comp going into Split as well. So there's going to be like that unknown factor of how they play. The footage that you have on version 1 from Andboxes is not going to be the same anymore. But what I did like about Andbox on that match and how they beat Sentinels versus 100 Thieves when they lost was that they took more mid control, and that was Ye with the operator on mid. That was them pushing more for control on the rotations through mid as well, and that's how you see this result. It was scrappy, but it works out for Andbox. Coming up now is going to be Split mirror matches, as the casters mentioned before. I think this is still going to be very close because for a team like version 1 that had such a nice victory versus a team like Envy on a map like we praise Envy for being so good on Split, was just how passively they were able to play on aggressive play styles of Envy. So I wonder if Andbox are going to try to play as aggressively. They could get punished going into this one too.
Andbox's aggression got him this far, and they're looking to not get punished because this is going to be the very first elimination game that we're going to have on this broadcast, and I have the pleasure to toss this over to Bala and Simo. Take it away.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We're diving into the last and final map. Iceland life on the line. Loser goes home. Winner still has to fight that good fight, Bala. Split is not going to be an easy task for either of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, just like the series 1-1, it's Split for map 3. And I've been hyping up this kind of Viper mirror matchup. I'm not necessarily sure if that's 100% going to be the case. Version 1 did play it against Sentinels early on. They did play the Viper and the Astra. But Andbox, we haven't quite seen what they will throw out. And it is looking so far like it is what we saw from Challengers 2 from them. Yep, exactly identical. Okay, so we will have exactly what we expect. Another notable change is Penny from Jets to Reyna on this Split side. And they do start defense for the first time in the series.
Yeah, one of the other kind of little things to know, Boy no longer on the controller. He's going to be playing the Breach this time around. He's been playing the Omen throughout the series. But again, still waiting for that Viper matchup to lock in. And the fact that we don't have kind of that Jet mirror matchup, it's going to be, Ye on the Sage and Penny on the Reyna. They're not really easy to compare. So the Viper matchup is going to make a little bit more sense. And to think about the capacity of having a little bit more control, this Astra in the mix for Vanity, you're still going to have pretty good post-plant scenarios with the Astra and the Viper. I mean, a little bit easier on the B side. The A side is a little bit harder to kind of navigate that process. But even still, once we get to that second half, it's going to be a nightmare for Andbox.
One thing to note is that V1 in the past, they did actually play Breach on this map, a double dive comp with Jet and Raze. So they should be expecting the kind of things that Boy can put out, but it's not the same type for Andbox. They only have just Mata on Raze. They have EA on Sage, so they're still playing that. Actually, both sides still playing the Sage on Split, which is honestly almost getting to a 100% pick rate. And they do have initiation. I mean, we talk about the breach and a double dive comp. Breach is useful in making these fast plays, flashing through. They also have the initiation of Seb, so we can expect these executes to be pretty strong from Andbox. It'll be on V1 to kind of figure out exactly how to delay. They have a lot of that in the form of Sage, in the form of Viper 2.
Yeah, the Sage is not really something that they had on Haven, but they still did a pretty good job of delaying those pushes once they came in on the defense. And we saw something pretty good out of version 1 in that regard. This is a different map. The Viper wall, especially on this defensive half, much more potent in the hands of a Viper on the attack. A lot of the setups don't allow the defense to have an easy passageway through to retake the site, especially since they can go up and down at will. Sage wall mid, pretty understandable. I think we'll be seeing that a lot, especially from Effies, but there's still the ability to jump up on the side, but no one's quite close enough to get there.
It's the wall in mid, so we'll take his time breaking that just so that the information is not quite given up for free that they're not coming through mid. Viper wall is on A, but no movement yet. Vanity spots Mata. So they know for sure that the execute's not coming quite yet on A with the Viper wall. Meanwhile, the defense one is also cutting them off, so they'll have to time that if they do end up wanting to go towards A, which I think they will, given Boy's position and Whippy's position. And I think the timing is going to be perfect, actually. This Viper wall comes up as we start the rotation over. If he keeps the fuel up all the way, I think it's going to be perfect. And there's only Whippy here. So this execute could be very strong from Andbox. The wall is down right now. Can they get through? They're going to have to cross 2 points of it, and he's... Yeah.
30 seconds left.
They're going to go for it anyways, I think. 28 seconds, they have to.
All Whippy needs to do is just take a couple of shots. Roomba's going to come up and clean him up. He almost takes it at face value. And he has the angle down from heaven, but the wall is still up from the attack. Now they will have that freedom. The wall's going to go back up from the defense, and we're just going to see the wall go back up and down and up and down. Vice, he's going to be taken down, so no longer is the attack wall going to be a factor. The defense now, how are they going to break into the site? There's a wall towards screens. Players are just going to rush from heaven with the other 2 players are going to leer. May lobby. Now the push comes in. Mata from pot. He's going to make a flower blossom. Zelsa still finds the refrag there, but he's got 19 HP and 2 players on the opposite side. Blast pack, will it be a factor? No, it will not. A solid round from Andbox to start.
Huge from Mata. He had to get 2 there. If he doesn't get 2, I mean, after losing Whippy, they have no control to really play time, really do anything. The fights are going to come. And Seb also on the angle, Boy swinging from sight at the same time as Mata takes contact. Well done from there, and you can see the actual deficiency a little bit from V1. No initiation means that they have to just take those gunfights. No flashes, nothing. Very difficult for them to do anything with low utility on the pistol. Zelsa tries to get cheeky, and Andbox is ready for it, even through the smoke.
And he was ready with another smoke, but wait. Unfortunate for Penny. Vice had already made his way up through the middle. And he's going to find a surprise. First click. Effie's trying to do the same, but not going to matter. Pretty standard round there for Andbox. The bonus is looking good, feeling good. Now with the gun round for the defense, how do they make things work? So far, we've had a push onto A. Had control for B main and mid lurk from Vice. Where does it end up now for Andbox? What do? They can run the same thing back. It looks like they're positioned to do so for B main. At least for some of that early control. And deny. V1, you cannot have that presence to B main.
Potentially here. Aggro from Penny. And FDs. They get put up on top of the wall. Not something that you expect after the orb gets popped, but they're ready for it. And they're going to pressure it down. Penny gone instantly. All for just an orb, basically, for Effies. I mean, that wasn't the intent, obviously, but That's all they walk away with. A different wall as well for Whippy. He's back over towards mid, and they recognize that, but they're already in front of it. So I'm not quite sure what the intent here was for V1. But Andbox have full control right now, especially with this smoke into mail. They can do what they literally have free reign to go anywhere on the map.
A bit of a quick push in. Celsius is down still. The delayed utility will find its trade, but 2 members remain from version 1, and it's going to be a tight push back in.
Enemy remaining.
FEs is going to be late. Whippy impatiently pushing forward, just trying to find something, but a close to flawless round from Andbox. And I think, Bala, you're asking the right questions. How are version 1 to position themselves to answer Andbox's strategical play here? What are they to do to make sure that they're in a positive position? Because it feels like some of the positioning has just been, at least for these early rounds, has not been ideal. You saw the wall boost. I like the idea, but it was punished very well by Andbox.
Yeah, to me, the thing I was most paying attention to was how they rotated Whippy over towards mid. He throws down the wall and then kind of just leaves it. So there wasn't really any space gained from them by doing that. Oh, again. Yeah, he's so good on the swing into B main, the slows. That's the second time V1 has tried to fight on the eco into B main, and the second time it's been put down, even this time cleaner for Andbox. That's one on the double stack on the side there, other one up on the wall. All the angles are free. Meanwhile, Spike's nowhere to be found. Mata might get a little too aggressive here. Might bite off more than he can chew. Nope, never mind. He's chilling. Potential for another flawless here. It is eco. But there still was an idea for V1 to try to go for it. I mean, the B main pressure.
Yeah. They're not planning it. They're just like, they're just waiting. Finally, boys, like, I've had enough of this. I'm getting the spike down.
30 seconds
Ata
left.
on this very wide angle. Would be just, once again, version 1 looking for exits. Or just a delayed push, try to catch somebody out of position, off guard, potentially. Get a little bit too comfortable. You know, they had a very dominant round. They just kind of took what they wanted. They definitely got what they wanted. 4-0 to start. 56% of you in Twitch chat, and I know you guys are geniuses. I know, trust me. 56% of you think Andbox is going to win split. And ironically, that percentage is kind of split itself. It's very close, 44 to 56.
Yeah, he actually knows. This is so nice. He knows he wants to die to Spike. And this is a spot that he can watch, so he goes there and is ready to take the kill for the res. Nicely done from Andbox. All started from that, the slow orb combination. Absolutely shut down.
I think, though, Andbox, they have to show that for a majority of their attacking halves. They have to say, version 1, you're not allowed to peek B main. That is our territory for the rest of this half. And in order to do that, version 1 need to see a slow orb there, at least one. They don't even look towards B main. They've kind of given that up completely because, well, it hasn't really been working. But mind you, it's been the eco rounds that they've tried to push that. Now Zels is deep mid. Very, very deep. And he's walled off, so he's on an island. Wilson. His trusty Phantom.
F is trying to take attention right here for this. But they swing him!
Oh.
Come on. That's just great awareness from Andbox.
Yeah.
They're carrying the momentum from the last map through. That's just fantastic awareness. Everything is methodical, and they're going to go right back over towards A. And we saw this already on the pistol round. Whippy has already spent both of his snake bites, so there's no more delay here, and Penny has rotated over towards ropes. I'm not quite sure why, because no more segments of that wall being brought down, so Here comes the ult up heaven. Whippy left on an island.
Seems to be the case here for version 1. Mata just trying to clear up heaven. Whippy finds one, can't survive for much. The map gonna take him down, and the resurrection for Boy. So a quick trade, and like you pointed out, he got that resurrection in the previous round. Mata in heaven, he does get fault lined, so it's gonna be a little bit more challenging, but it's his own breach. That gives him a headache. Vice, late push from the sewers is gonna be a little bit more challenging. Can he hold this off? No, sir. Aftershock pushes through it. Boy sitting beside the flower pot while Mata going to be holding the angle from heaven. They start to come through up ramp. Mata needs to hold on for this push. They're coming from two sides. Mata's down, and now Penny's going to be a problem. Penny, can he get the ace last player towards flower pot? It's Boy, and he gets the ace. Penny with the ace finds the round for version 1. My goodness. Very well done on the retake. Put his team on his back. Grabs the first round.
That is just unreal from Penny. Every one of these kills. That's 2. And then Mata, just the timing there. That's just unlucky. Seb is peeking out. Boy tries to have the trigger discipline, but this is such a hard angle to flick back up vertically. Almost feels like he should have taken the first fight onto Penny. Instead, V1 will pick up their first round of the series, but with some heroics. Crazy part is in that round, it felt like Vice was actually going back through spawn to get his lineups, and I thought that he actually recognized that somebody was coming up ropes, but no. Here comes full execute. He's already got the ult in the backside. The wall will cut off a lot. Celsius could find him. Is he gonna dive? No, Brandon.
Two options, right or left. Chose left, right door. Still, Spike has not been planted yet. Despite the Viper's Pit mid, it's the opposite Viper. Doesn't have that Viper's Pit and hasn't planted the Spike yet. Look at version 1, they're all here. Zelsa's close, underneath the wall, and he has to walk through. Oh, he's poisonous cloud, but he doesn't find Vice. There it is. He's missed out the safety, survives and gets all his health back. Now the 3v5, the attack just trying to hold on. Andbox now with the wall down. This gives version 1 a little bit more to play with. Ye is down. Fault line's going to not allow the breach, rather defense to push in, and very, very well done on the retake there. Great start with the Viper's Pit, which had eventually led to this. The defense were ready for the plant. Version 1 secure round 2.
Absolutely fantastic gravity well, by the way. I don't think that was quite obvious what was happening there, but Vanity hit the gravity well off of the default plant spot right as Penny was walking up to him and spamming it. Recognized that was happening, both of them getting pulled in towards the center. And then the spike is planted way out in the open. So that's a free kill, and everything else falls apart for there. V1 on the uptick. That's 2 in a row, and that was a hard push on B from Andbox. That not quite what we saw in the first 4. So I expect them to go right back to what worked so far.
One player mid.
This is going to be met with slightly different. Oh, look, hold on. Yep, yay. Oh my god, he could get 2. Just barely, they walk back into heaven. He's going to walk out. Yep. Ooh. Vanity gone. That's Astra. You saw the impact last round. Spike is not here, though. Ye will wall off. I'm not sure if they actually want to commit. No way. Oh! Come on, Ye. That is aggro, and I like it.
Oh, does try to support Seb. Those players have backed away. That's just the timing of it. Now, Resurrection, you know, that wall, kind of a double-edged sword. Seb gonna force the issue, push back. That res already nullified. Still the 3v4, 3v5 rather. Penny pushing up through ropes, and Seb's gonna just hold it over towards the mailroom. Unfortunately, trying to check all the angles down mid. He will get punished. Now, Viper Spit here from Vice. It's not gonna give them that safety to retake the site. A 3v4 is still doable. Version 1, but it's going to be very challenging. The positioning here from Andbox. Mata down low, going to find one at least. Now the spray through, but the box cannot be penetrated anymore. Zelsa's getting so low as he pushes in. time is ticking, and they're just waiting for them to push out the side of the Viper's pit. That's all they're waiting for, and as they're trying to fight this, one falls, but now Zels is on the retreat. Oh, boy's gonna go hunting. Try to chase him down. He might not even survive the spike. No, he will not. Round, though, goes to Andbox.
A lot went down in that round. I mean, I was not expecting Ye to just walk out like this by himself. No slow orb, no aggression from V1. Then gets the extra pick, and that gives room because on the other side, Effys has to walk back through spawn and res. That gives room for Boy to then go down the stairs. As the execute starts, or the retake starts, I should say. Very difficult to contend with overall. Back to the default again for Andbox. Penny has to get going somewhere else on the map as well. I think that they're going to late push this with a flash, and that could catch both Boy and Vice. Oh, it's going to be a split. If the timing here is good, this could be really nice, but if they don't go for it soon, they're going to get pinched.
This round to go their way, Version1 have to be so patient. Like, you see Penny's position. He's just got to hold it and hope something comes through on the opposite end. A quick trade.
Penny's insane.
Finds at least one, and now Whippy all alone. Seeing Effys rotate over. Heaven control is going to come easy, as we can see, unless Effys has something to say about it.
That's a big pick, though, from Penny. The flick was insane already, but he took down Vice. And this take, the wall is so important from this. Oh, come on. Oh, they're walking from spawn.
Effys just trying to slow them down. No, can't quite get it done. Still, though, Whippy's on site. He never left, just playing down below in hell. Shots good onto Boy. All down to Ye in a 1v3. Resurrection 1 point away. If he can find this pick onto Whippy, they're walled off from spawn. Fortunately, not accounting for Whippy. Great reposition from the Viper.
So I was mentioning Vice falling there and the wall not being able to be used when they do go for the take. So they actually have to switch gears and try to push through Heaven. Otherwise, they would have been coming out through A main and just blocking all the angles up on A. Blocking screens, blocking Heaven, and just taking the fight, isolating the site itself. With Vice gone, they cannot do that.
Kill them.
Both sides, very good economy. Pendy is playing quickly in ropes this time. A lot of the same job that he's always had. Everything very similar. Except for Penny, and he's out. He's out of here. Well done. Not playing that box a single time until now. Pops the ult as well. He's going for more. And yeah, ill-advised. Nothing with that. Maybe just a slow from a friend Effys.
I have the spike.
So while he started off strong, the man advantage evened, and now it's up to Andbox to decide where they want to go. They have the ult. They also have Ye with the res, so they could fight aggressively out B main here if they so desire.
See the smoke. They're prepping for it. You know, I was thinking there's 4 rounds left, including this one. When are you going to use the res, right? You're potentially only going to get this one last shot. But as you get the res, it's a bait. Oh, Effys gets 2 for free. Vanity in trouble, but he's still unaccounted for. He finds 1 on the way out. No way. Vice still knocks down 2. He's down to 20 HP. Defense, 1 player already on site. Effys is unaccounted for completely. Gets so much value of this push, but even still, Vice will just fall just at a basic shot. Boy in a very interesting position, though. They don't quite know where he's lurked off onto. But Effys, a great angle, great positioning from Effys, but even better, great presence of mind to hold that mid, knowing a res is available. And now, just for eco's sake, get Vanity a weapon and keep that economy alive.
It gets ever closer. I do want to stress how difficult that shot from Vanity is. Full stunned in the back of sight.
Flashed.
Unreal. He gets the entry that's important. Then that ring around the rose is really hard to predict if you're Boy trying to clutch in that situation. Effys has already gone through completely silently. The wall's not there like you kind of always expect. V1 have the opportunity now to even this up, and I think they will do that. The eco is not there for Andbox.
Right there.
Might be a flash and dash through heaven. Yep, they're already marking it up. Seb is going to flash, and you'll have a bunch of follow-ups from Boy as well. Obviously, only one satchel player. Movement, he gets just stuck. They expected everything. Oh, no. Oh, no.
No.
It's a disaster. Showstopper doesn't even go out. Now Penny's turn to frag. He gets all the way across the smoke, and everything has been red.
What are we watching right now? I know this is the eco, but this is just pick after pick. Oh, yay! Finds an upgrade, finds two. This is a little bit more doable. Can wall off and get a couple of more of those upgrades as Vice is now starting to join him.
Zelsis.
Did they hear Zelsis though? I think that might be what they heard. There's going to be the quick look for Vice. A 2v2 now as they'll quickly rotate back to B. Astra, Vanity is alone on the A site, so Whippy's going to be the only one that can answer, and there is no utility to answer with. Snake Bite is available. Shots good. No! Yay! He'll take him down, heal up the Viper, and now plant for B main. Vanity has it all to do. Cosmic Divide available. Can opt in to use it, but still such a challenging round before him.
For elimination games, this is as good as it gets. Both teams putting it all on the line. I've said it a number of times, but it feels like every single player has the capability of just popping off and getting absolutely insane frags. Now it's Vanity's turn, but a crossfire that's so difficult to actually contend with. They just have to hold it. He has to peek eventually.
Oh, no way. No way. That's huge. That's huge. Yeah, he's got to play. He's got to play. He's got to play! Vanity with two! What a clutch round! And Version1 tie it up.
How is that possible, Vanity? That is one of the most difficult double up spots to fight with in a 1v2 situations. That is the spot that I want literally every 2v1 situation to be played on attack. And he shoulder peeks it perfectly, gets the strafe shot that is just so accurate, playing the dead zone, gets away, and then takes the second one. That is unreal.
So I'm not saying that that's going to be the decision that wins Version1 the map, but that's definitely a momentum builder that like rallies the troops. Everyone's excited. You're locked in. Vanity, fortunately, going to miss that shot. And it's a quick push in. It's the rush for Mata, but still Zels is here to at least be the X factor. Has the showstopper available. Like you called out, the wall for wall, toxic wall, then the sage wall. Still, no one's made it into sight. They're slowing things down.
Welcome to my world.
This ult makes it so difficult. Zels is just gonna go through. They back off. They knew that was coming, so they back off instantly as it starts and Penny gets the flank.
Mata's just sitting there. Mata's just running, and he's gunning. Oh, goodness. Yay, and Mata teaming on up. Whippy. Last player standing has to push through the smoke and mirrors. All that's left is a corpse on the ground. A round for Andbox. And, you know, you called it, I think, specifically. It was this play that definitely solidified the round, but I want to bring it back to that showstopper. Thinking it out, playing it passively until that comes through and it gets used, denies one player to fall guaranteed, and you've got more lifeline to work with.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the most difficult skills to build in Valorant is awareness of, I mean, it's really not hard, but it's not something that everybody is thinking of constantly, given, you know, the high pace of these games, the ability usage that's constantly going off, just trying to keep track of that itself. Oh, wow. Mata. He's just going through. Okay. I don't think Whippy spotted him. No way.
Oh, my goodness.
That is crazy.
He was low. Okay, he was low. We have to give him a little bit of credit to that. The paint shells were coming through anyways. Very well done. That's just back. Have to point out that Effie's went for an orb A main. He was just trying to build it up, but you see Vanity. Like, what is happening? Penny! Did he get one more? Penny! Oh my god, he's on the run. Can't quite convert out to Seb. Now it's the 2v1. Effie's last man standing, but he's got the spike in his pocket. Nobody around to res. Even if he finds this big, he can't quite bring someone back from the dead, but it's Seb that sends him down 7-5.
could have been tied up there. Another 1v2 opportunity for V1, but unfortunately, Effie's isn't going to be able to close that one out. This round here for Penny was a momentum shift. You talked about momentum shifts, Simo. There were so many on both sides. I mean, Mata on the pistol round, this round from Penny, the 1v2 from Vanity, the next round from Mata as well. This is, again, so worthy of an elimination match, no matter what. I mean, of course, whoever loses this is going to be absolutely devastated, but this is a treat for all the viewers, at least.
Yes. Now the halves have swapped. We're going to see a completely different shift of how the teams are going to play. We've got to pay attention to some of these defaults because no longer are we going to see that standard slow orb B main. It's going to be a completely different playstyle. Starts with this pistol and V1 pushing up mid.
I do like that the Viper wall looks are exactly the same as pistol round on the other side. But they just walk up, Mata. He doesn't peek it. There's the info. The nade will try to delay to get themselves space. It's a full commit from V1.
There they go, pushing on in. Zelsis, it's Effie's that finds the first, but still, boys just trying to play cheeky, just trying to survive. Zelsis reads it, gets those shots. He was low anyway, but Seb somehow with the frenzy still alive, being pinched from Ramen as well. It's 4 members strong of V1, just shot after shot. Seb will not find success. Version 1 are inching closer to tying us back up.
These pistol rounds are so scrappy, man. Absolutely scrappy. The frenzy buys, the running drive-bys. Reminds me of the last one on Haven. Remember the one they just ring around the rosy and defensive spawn? Much closer, 7-6. Andbox. It's not the 8-4 half. It was only 7-5, and now they lose pistol as well. So no room to grow their lead. So far today, V1's attacking halves have been much better, especially the one with the Viper. I guess their defense was better on Ascent. In either case, I do know Andbox's setups have been quite, in my mind. Oh, that goes all the way down ropes. What?
Whoa. Let's get traded though.
This is, you see the sheriff? That's where his body died. That's crazy.
Oh, they're running in. Vice though, he's gonna fight 2. Can't hold the spray for 3. And this buy up for version 1's going a little sour. How can they sweeten the deal? Wall about to go up. He can still get the plant, but there's boost up.
I mean, I like the idea, but he has to plant, so.
Just so anxious of where they could be positioned. A player could obviously be pushing screens with that Roomba, kind of leading the charge. Vanity still unaccounted for. Now has been accounted for. That is a Vandal. And that's going to play a big factor. HL's back. That's going to do a lot of damage. There's going to be the dash in shot. Not going to be good as the Vandal, of course, from range, and Effie's as well. That played a big factor. Vanity in a great position, and we're tied up.
Fantastic play from V1 for sure, but I'm wondering what the idea here from Andbox was on the full retake. I mean, Vice basically brought the wrong bat, but here, basically, is it a fake tap from Effie's that makes them try to aggro and take the 1v1, or the, what was it, 3v1 there against Effie's? Not quite sure either way. Anti-eco loss averted for V1. And Andbox will come into this trying to make it so that the bonus is not available. 3 players in towards mid. It's only Seb over here. He's going to throw the smoke down. So one way. They back off immediately, but the paranoia at least spent. So that's not available for retake. Not available for any control or assists in middle.
Concealment.
Okay. Going to pick up the spike now. Oh, the flash through! We're talking about the Omen flash. But we've got Breach still here. They're going to fight back, though. Vanity.
pushes down, can't control the spray. Unfortunate. Still though, Ye finds himself a consolation prize, and now we're in a 3v3, pushing over towards A. Vice tries to get into that ramp angle, but he gets taken care of by Whippy. Viper on Viper action. Now they've got complete control of this A site. Smokes galore, walls galore, and the gravity well to do that damage, and they're just going to spray through. He's vulnerable now. He's so low. And Zelsis from down below opens that one up just down to Seb in a 1v3.
Was he trying to use that gravity well to get speed to go out? Or what was the idea there? I mean, there's a molly in there anyway, so it doesn't matter. But Seb for the 1v3.
Valiant effort. Very difficult if you're in the position of Seb. You know, we'll be honest, it's a tough 1v3 to win. It's like a Viper as well. It's everything.
Sure, but Valiant?
Sorry, Valorant. Is that better?
Yeah, sure. I don't know what that means, but yeah, sure. So, mid-aggression from Andbox gets shut down. Well, kind of. I'm not quite sure who really came out on top of that one, but in either case, they reposition, regroup back towards A. That works out nicely.
They still get through, though.
Yeah, that wasn't even their wall. They don't take the decay.
Don't. But this one they do. This one they do. And you see how back up they are? There's still another wall there. They'll just walk forward, and they're all there! Oh my god! Yay with two! And they just wall off the spike. What is happening? Zelsis, though, pinches them.
Effie says res 2.
Oh my goodness. HL's just going to try to delay them. Anity will still end up finding Seb. That's going to be a pick over towards B main. And that's going to be control of the B site, at least temporarily. Spike still needs to get over, so that's going to give Andbox a lot of time to call their defense back! No way! How is Andbox pulling this one back?
And instantly they turned tail, by the way. They were running over towards B, but they're like, nope, let's go back towards A. Meanwhile, Andbox is still here with 2, though. And now that they break the wall, they know as well.
Still going to be a challenging round to win. Yet when you get caught like that, paint shields go down still. Now with Zelsis repositioning, Mata anticipating maybe they funnel back. Doesn't expect them so far pushed up, but Effie's now pushing up through heaven. Void decides to peek through heaven while Ye's going to be pushing through screens. There's going to be at least a player up there to anticipate. And now with Ye falling, boy, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a challenging task for him. Does have a Phantom, though, that he managed to pick up. But with the Viper spit, they were like, yeah, we're not losing this one. You're not clutching this. You're not even going to go in there. You're not going in. That start, Walla. That eco start.
I honestly don't know what was happening there. I mean, I can't believe they found 2 pockets in the between 2 toxic screens. And then Ye, was it Ye who got the two one taps? Whoever it was. That was crazy. And then insta wall from Effie's. He knows what to do. He gets the res off. Meanwhile, Zelsis is coming swinging. He's like, eco frag! Up the ropes. Yeah. Onus on Andbox. It's felt like that the entire series. Yes, they did take ascent, but it's always felt like it's been them who has to prove. And they got what it takes to withstand V1's onslaught right now. Not in the lead by only 2, though. So far, this half has been flawless for V1. 4 rounds in a row. And it's a tactical pause, most likely from Andbox in this case. We got the pings coming out. The round timer resumes. I'm trying to figure out what the pings were for. Maybe a wall? Either way, it's the B main aggression that we actually saw from V1 on the defense. They don't do anything off of it. They just posture and make it look like they're going into it. That leaves Vanity to clear it by himself. They can execute fast here from Male. I don't think they realize.
Well, the gravity well is going to push that player off the angle. He sees at least one, but he's going to use the paint shells instead to clear out that lower angle because he wants to use this to find a frag, but he needs to use it to abuse it. Still, V1 find 3 as they're funneling into the site. Showstopper, despite not quite working out, will still do the damage. 2 players remain. Vipers
Spike planted.
Snake bite, will it do enough damage? Effie's does take quite a bit. Still inching forward. Ye is going to help with that crossfire. Now Vice with the swing, still not going to do enough damage, just the jump peek. They are working together masterfully to deal with V1, but things have slowed down. Slow orb back towards the back of the tower. Now just down to Ye, has the resurrection available. He's just looking for frags. Effies. That's going to put V1 at double digits. The tactical pause was not tactical enough as V1 secure the round.
And to be honest, V1 played that. I mean, the mid-round call there was perfect. It was very early in the round, but instantly, they wanted to go in that B main. But instantly, as the smoke comes out, as the flash and the fault line comes out from Boy, even though they don't take B main control, it's in a precarious position when it comes to male, when it comes to mid. So boom, V1 recognizes that there's a potential that they're all the way deep in B main, but also for them to be just stuck on site, not really paying in heaven. V1 and now desperation. Okay, this is a setup that we actually saw Andbox work to perfection against Sentinels. He TPs up past the wall and they leave it down. Not a position that you're used to, but if V1 wants those balls, they know what's happening.
Oh, by 3! You called it out, and Seb just mows him down. Yes, Vice falls, but the cost is worth it.
And advantage is down inside. He's going to ult out as well to continue to hold on to that. Double up to ropes. They know Mata's there. They hear the ropes as well. Hold on a second. If they try to push this, there's a crossfire right back at them. He's going for it too.
Oh, and the res just gets baited out. Boy still manages to clean things up. So that's res gone. We're near the end of this half, and that's a very key thing to note. Because Effies is so close to that, and they can use that to potentially catapult certain rounds. But this stack, you called it out, was masterful. Not even... I mean, well, Seb gets taken down to 5, so they took like a person and 90% of a person, but still so worth it for Andbox.
90% of a person is still a whole person, Simo.
There.
Hey, but they still got tricks. They still got tricks up their sleeves. But how many more? It's gonna be a full-on hit here, straight through. But instantly the pocket is there, or the snake bite is there. I don't know what a pocket is. And they get delayed from what they wanted to do, which I believe was dash forward. Viper's pin. He's running through. Vice, can you get away? Yes, you can. But he has to give up the Viper's pit, and I don't think he wants to go back in that either.
Oh, Penny. Penny went so deep just to try to get some value. They'll retreat, and he's going to continue to hold that Viper's pit. I know you were calling out that he doesn't want to give it up. That could be the difference between version 1 being at round 11 and Andbox being at round 9. So A is no longer a factor, and you're seeing Andbox prepare for that. A late round wall for... Well, I thought it was a late round wall for mid, but they were maybe anticipating the play towards their Mata.
This is dangerous. He has ult. Boy can flash as well. He's going to flash with a nade, potentially. Oh! It's even worse than that. It's a full shot. Oh! He tried to bite with the wall! He tried to do it! That would have been absolutely amazing, but everything falls apart. Rolling Thunder Showstopper combination, and V1 lose the round again. We talk about tricks that Andbox still has. There's even more. The spot. And then the follow-up. Mata and Boy played that to perfection.
Show me that wall. Oh my god. That was... I like the attempt. It's like they're going tit for tat. Like you keep calling out. It's like this momentum builder back and forth and back and forth. This is a series.
I will be so devastated for V1, no matter what. I mean, both these teams fought so hard to be here, but the last couple of best of threes that I've watched from V1, they've won the first map and then lost the next two, no matter what, even against overdogs and whatnot. Right now, it's all on the line, though. That happens again, you know that they're going to be absolutely devastated.
He's in a unique position as no one else is really here to help him. Fortunately, shots of the room, but he's got to fall off. E1 have kind of opted in to play a little bit detached from A, as there's been a consistent bloodbath round after round. So they'll try their hand at poking and prodding towards B this time around. But there's 3 players there Now, they're not quite playing for heaven. Master Smokes will at least deny the vision of potential players coming through. Where is this spike going to end up? Boy, weak position, fault lines ready, gravity well. Let's try to pull him off the angle, but he's got more utility to spare. Paint chills are perfect, and Penny still manages to retreat, but he's down to 12. Does get healed up by Effie's. There's not a lot of time left, Bala. 14 seconds, now 12. They've got to rush in. Headshot's good for Mata. Seth finds another. They need to get the spike planted in. Boys ready on the push off the front. Effie's will try to trade things out, but it is absolutely disastrous as Whippy, spikeless, has to watch the round go to Andbox. 10-10. Loser does not go to Iceland. Loser does not represent NA on the international stage. It all falls to these 4 rounds.
And for obvious reason, I believe we're going to take a tech pause here. But to underscore the intensity of this moment right here, Simo, you're hyping it up. It's not, I mean, yes, in the grand scheme, we're all focused on Iceland. That is what every single team is focused on. But for both these teams too, no matter how far they get, no matter if they are a team that goes to Iceland, every win matters in the grand scheme of things as well. Champions is what these guys want at the end of the year. The big world tournament, the first of its kind in VALORANT. We'll get a little taste at Iceland, of course, but that's what it's all building up to. Right now, yes, we're focused on the road to Iceland because, of course, the novelty of the first VALORANT LAN cannot be stated enough. There's not going to be another first VALORANT LAN ever.
No. Only one. It came at just the perfect time. Looking at the timing here, the wall's going up, but this time, no snake bite. A couple of shots there. And he's going to take a little bit of damage. But still, they're all passing quite safely through that toxic screen. Ice is down somehow. He's gone.
This is deep from Whippy. Okay, here we go. Back over to the other side. Effie's is stuck by himself. It looks like a 3 versus 3. Look at Vanity's position all the way in mid. Celsius falls. Effie's left alone on the site. I'm not sure if they know where Vanity is, but this flank could be massive. It needs to come, though. Otherwise, Effie's left all alone. He's going to go for a res. They're swinging out of spawn. Effie
finds this one.
Oh! He makes it hurt, and Vanity is here. Come on. Oh, no.
Oh! Version1! A rough buy. They bring it home. Yes. Slideshow before us, but we get to see Version1 at 11-10.
Dude, they left that one close. It was only a frenzy. That's why he didn't want to go too aggressively. He didn't want to take any disadvantaged angles. Keep in mind the score right now, 11-10, Version1. That is where we're at. Couple rounds left on this half. We have UI-less view, but at least it's not laggy. I don't want to stop these players at all, because this is intense.
Ice is playing ropes. We haven't seen a lot of that. Very interesting how that pans out. Unfortunately, it's not quite relevant. Close angle for Seb. Down. They can take a breather. They found a pick. What does Version1 do off that?
Andbox is not moving at all as well. Boy's just taking the angle back as we get the UI back. Dude, it's so tense. No noise whatsoever. It will be a B execute eventually. Effie's has the res, so they're going to want to duel as hard as possible. Get that res up. Try to trade whatever they can. Boy's going to jump spots. Celsius for ult. He's got ult now.
They need help. Andbox need help, but they back off. Oh, wait. Nope, they pull back. Back and forth and back and forth. But still, now, boy, He's going to be the closest contact point. Still, Mata wall's going to be going up. Aftershock, I like the timing of that because that's going to delay the showstopper momentarily. Will Zelsis get the value out of it? He's trying to find out where somebody could be located. Now they can play around it. Celsius is down. Oh, Vice with another. Well played from Andbox, but the round's not over yet. Whippy with another. At least trying to dwindle those odds. They've got a crossfire. Backside spikes ticking up in the hand. Vanity on the swing, but it's Andbox to tie us back up.
Back and forth these rounds are going in the last couple of rounds. And it's so close for both. What a series we've had. And it's going the distance. Love it from Mata on that round. You saw the showstopper attempt from Zelsis. Obviously, you pointed out the aftershock from Boy so well timed. Zelsis could not get past until waiting for it. Then the satchel through. He fires it off in towards spawn where there's nobody waiting. Mata swings off of that and gets a free kill. The wall is there. He can't really get traded whatsoever because Zelsis is so far ahead. Back to the drawing board we go for V1, and it is a light buy, but it doesn't matter if Whippy's going to get kills like that. That's a free gun if they can cross now, and I think they can with the wall. But they're not going for it. It's tense.
It's a great read as well, because that's the boost up with the operator looking down. Get that pick. Look at the rest of V1. They don't have weapons. They don't have anything.
Well,
they can pick up this op. You can see, though. Oh, but they still find one to trade. They don't know that a second is there. Vice is getting so much value now if he's playing close to gravity. Well, he's trying to escape, inch his way back over. But they're fighting for this op. Now, counter wall, Celsius, and the res. They're still fighting for it. Now, Sebs comes Celsius. It's all down to Boy. And he's just trying to avoid the bait shells. And he can a thrifty round. Oh, my God. Match point for version 1.
Series point make it for V1 off of a thrifty round. Are you kidding me? How's it come to this? From when all was lost, you remember the round where we came back in and it was Vanity on the flank with a frenzy to close that one out. That was a thrifty too. So everything hanging by a thread for V1, the economy especially, but that does not hold them off. Last attempt for Andbox to hold on to their life, hold on to their hopes and dreams of the first international Valorant LAN.
Gotta lay the land.
Need that back. Recovering.
Andbox have a lot of ultimates to work with. Resurrection, Rolling Thunder, Showstopper, and one away from that big darn pit. On the opposite side, they've got a pit as well, but nothing's quite close. So Andbox are needing to really use this utility this round. Where does the pit go? Where does the Showstopper get the retake? How does it get the space? Rolling Thunder, how's it used? These are all the questions we need to be asking ourselves. If Mata falls here, it's going to be a little bit problematic. That's the Showstopper gone. There's the Rolling Thunder. Ice is in a position to try to nullify the rope split, but they're smart. They're considering the fact that he could be down there. Playing it slow. The escapes.
Look at the position on the top of ramps. Mata's here to cover them as well, so they can't get pinched. The screen is here. There's also Showstopper, but they want to commit towards B. That's where the spike. It's in mail. Boy's still over there, and so is Seb.
Oh, Vanity, that's Boy down.
They're coming back towards A. Ye's all alone now with Vice. He gets one, but they lose everything.
Oh!
Two. Seb with all to do. 8 seconds. They're going to be able to get it down, but they have to plant for heaven. And Seb might be able to get there in time. No, Viper's pit down and a 1 versus 2 in the pit for their dreams.
Seb, no! Seb! Version 1 claw their way back like a panther hunting for their first meal of the day. A series you highlighted. They start with the win, and it doesn't come any better than that after, but they come back on split. Andbox were dirty. They were filthy. They were fighting tooth and nail round after round, but version 1 are your victors, and they will move on, and Andbox will fall.
That was absolutely insane. From thrifty rounds to clutches, you have to bring it back and think of the moments in that round. Penny with the ace, Vanity with the 1v2, Andbox had some flair of their own. That series had everything to me. Interesting comps on Haven, a very standard Ascent game that almost went the distance, and then Split does do just that, and it delivers with a Viper Mirror matchup in NA. Like, unfortunately, Andbox has to say goodbye to their dreams and hopes of Iceland and go again in stage 3, but their road has unfortunately come to an end.
Version 1, though, you have to give them a lot of credit. You know, Haven, obviously a very studied map from them. Ascent needs a little bit of work, but they were close. They weren't too far off the money. And then Split, they definitely got a couple of experience points to level up their map skill on that map. That, you know, we talk a lot about, you know, the Sentinels of NA and 100 Thieves and the TSMs. That was one of the best maps in NA history so far. That was something you have to watch back because of how well it was executed.
And look, I mean, we just got started here in stage 1. I know there's another banger elimination match going on, but we're going to have a lot of these in the lower bracket. And like I said at the beginning, I expected this to be close no matter what, just because I knew that they were both going to put everything on the line. You saw those last couple of rounds, how tense they were. The silence was immense
And
for
the
both
respect.
teams. Exactly. There was literally these moments where they're like, oh my goodness, like you could see the pressure on both sides of it, but they still played one of the best games of Valorant I think I've seen in a long time in NA.
Honestly, like, I don't know what else there is for us to say. You know, the Desk is going to have a very, very difficult time to break it down. And, you know, I'm just going to leave it at that. Desk, good luck.
I just want to say, I want to know how bad Ballas' feet are hurting from standing up and shoutcasting all day. But welcome back to the desk, and they did it. Version 1 knocked out Andbox. They're going to live to fight yet another day. And my analyst, Bach and Van Silly, starting with you. Sorry about that. Starting with you.
That's exactly what it was. That's
yeah.
exactly what it was.
Version 1, man.
Fast-paced, back and forth. It's like basically two cars racing to try to see who can make it to the finish line. That's how crazy it was, because those last 4 rounds, as the casters have mentioned, of Bach and of, sorry, not Bach, but Bala and Zemo, you were biting your fingernails. You didn't know to who he was going to go to. And when we talk about these clutches, heroic plays, it's like, oh, if it wasn't for this heroic play on Ascent, it would have been Andbox's game. You had so many heroic plays in this game, where especially for me, that 2 versus 1 for Vanity that he won on B, I thought it was going to be like an FE's clutch on Haven again, and then V1 just runs back with it and it just wins. But then Andbox, they never let the foot off the pedal. They fought back right away, and look at how they fought, man. This was an amazing matchup to watch.
And Bach, I mean, this is your chance to kind of flex. No, Andbox didn't come back and win 2 maps back to back, but they won the second map, like you said, and then the third map, and I believe you said it was going to a tiebreaker. It gave us everything we wanted, man.
It was close. I actually thought we were going to go to overtime. Even in that final round, there were moments where it looked like overtime was coming. We talk about that play that Boy makes over in B Heaven. That felt like it was a pivotal moment in the match. It's a simple 1v1. It doesn't look like it has that much weight to it, but it opens up doubt. It all of a sudden leaves B Heaven empty, and now the B player is calling for additional support potentially, but they've got control of ropes as well. He just goes for a simple dry peek in a one-on-one fight and loses it. As a breach, it's like not the one. That's not what you want to see. You know, it's just not a game that Boy really was playing all that great. It doesn't feel like the agent really suited him. You know, his skill set didn't play the way that we would like to see, and as a result, he sits at the bottom of the scoreboard. Sure, that's not like the biggest deal, but it was that one round that cost them potential overtime that I look at. I'm like, man, it's little plays like that. It seems small. It's not to say it's only his fault, but it's just little mistakes. That's what separates 2 teams when the score is 13-11. It's the tiny mistakes. That's the difference potentially between Andbox winning this game 13-11 or going into overtime, taking it later. I mean, there's so many alternate scenarios that you can come up with based around little scenarios such as that.
I think the beauty of it, and while I'm saying this, can we please bring up the graphic? We just saw Version 1 have a banger of a game against Andbox, and let's think about last Masters, right? With Version 1, they missed out on it, and we saw teams like them continuously get better to eventually get to this point. And now what we have left for tomorrow, I mean, it's going to be absolutely crazy. So I'm going to read up the top bracket for you guys. 100 Thieves versus Sentinels and then NRG versus Cloud9 Blue. Van Silly, which one of those two games are you really looking forward to, man? Because Sentinels, 100 Thieves? Come on.
I don't even know anymore, dude. Because at the same time, we've mentioned it before, right? Going into this version 1 and Andbox matchup, that 100 Thieves and Sentinels is potentially like the grand finals matchup that you have set in store tomorrow. But the Cloud9 versus Energy is going to be very fun to watch too, because Cloud9 Blue look very good versus Envy, who, by the way, are still fighting versus on a third map. And then you have XSET versus Energy, where Energy looked really good actually on that second map. That's going to be some VODs I'm going to have to watch. But a C9 Blue versus Energy together, it's two teams that are fighting and moving and, should I say, progress quickly actually. I didn't have much expectation for these two teams in this NA regionals, but it's promising to be a very good clash.
Look, I
really
just want to
good
jump
one,
in here.
Feel
I want to
free.
jump in here because I'm looking at this series, and as you're talking about it, I'm pulling up the stream. They're just getting ready to start that third match between Envy and XSET. It hasn't started yet. But if you actually look at the series score, it was 13-11 map 1 in favor of XSET on Bind. They go to Ascent, it's 13-10. Those are two close games. I don't think people would necessarily expect the scorelines to be that close. It's kind of looking disastrous, and this is something I actually had in my notes coming into this tournament. I feel like XSET gets slept on super hard, and I think a part of that is that it always feels like they're, and XSET's here too. It's never like, man, XSET's here. Like, they're not given the same level of respect as a team like Envy, like even Immortals, like LG. Because these teams, they're constantly qualifying. XSET was in Masters, and they've consistently qualified for some of these events. At what point are we going to start giving them the respect that they deserve?
I feel like we give it to them. Exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vance.
I was just going to say, like, going into this event, I'm definitely giving it to XSET because in my prediction, in my pick'ems on the Spike, I actually have 100 Thieves and XSET qualifying. So Sentinels haters will probably hate me right now.
I wouldn't go that far.
I gave a lot of respect to XSET in this tournament.
Okay. It needs to be said. We give respect to every team out there. But the fact of the matter is, you take a look at some of the teams that we all feel like don't get a lot of respect. What happens to them? There's early exits, there's disappointments, and we're not seeing them reach that level of potential. But that was a past, and the meta has changed now. The standings in NA is currently changed. Now you have teams like XSET tearing it up. Take a look at Version 1 right now. They weren't like this before last Masters, okay? So what we have right now with this bracket and this particular event in order to go to Iceland, this is going to weed out and bring us the best of the best, so I'm excited about that. But to move on, the AIM Lab Flick of the Day. Bach, I have a feeling that you might know what this is. So if you had to call out a play that would get this, what would it be?
It's going to be that 5K on Split. That did feel like it was a bit of a momentum shift, a turning point, and that's the one from Penny. He pops Empress ult and then just wreaks havoc, and that's kind of the nature of playing Reyna. You know, you have Reyna popping the Empress ult and just running all over the place, ends up getting the ace. It even confused me for a second because it kind of happened so quick when we watch it back. So Penny starts things out. There's the initial kill, the follow-up as well, and now you can see that purple hue, the glow, and the obvious red outline, a kill on the player's site. It was this last kill that confused me because I didn't even realize it was like the HUD got a little out of sync in that one moment, and I'm like, oh wait, there's still one left. It's a technical ace. Someone must have gotten a res. No, it's just a really quick and solid play coming out from Penny. There were a lot of great plays today, but obviously with the outcome of this series being the way that it was, this was a point where Version 1 started to get themselves into the game a little bit in that first half. Because prior to this, Andbox was controlling the scoreboard.
And I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Yep, most definitely. So for tomorrow, we have 2 matches this time around, not 3. We're going to slow it down just a tiny bit. Coming up on your screen, I believe we're going to hit one of the top brackets. Bach, do you believe we're going to get Sentinels and 100 Thieves, right?
I would imagine that we're going to end up with 100 Thieves
There we
versus
go.
Sentinels. I can't imagine us going any other direction. And here's the crazy thing too, right? If you look at the bracket, I am pretty sure that the loser of that faces off against the winner of XSET and Envy. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to see it. Because if that's the case, that means that Envy or Sentinels 100 Thieves, one of those 3 teams is going home. That's kind of wild because we were talking about it starting the day. Envy, again, up on the favorite side. Disappointing start. This is feeling very similar to Masters. It kind of feels like they're crushing under the pressure a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to find out soon. But to close out the desk for tonight, I mean, that's pretty much it for me. But Bach, Van Silly, I'm going to leave the floor open to both of you to just show some love to the chat and the viewers out there.
Love you all, chat. Thank you so much for watching. It's been some exciting games. I think even if Veli said we're slowing things down tomorrow, I think it's still going to be 0 to 100.
Oh, it's going to be
as Jake would say.
crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that, basically. I'm sorry. Bach, what are you trying to show us, Bach?
I was drawing a picture of a dog that I could pet since Vansily has his. I don't have my dog. My dog's like 100 pounds, and picking her up would be very cool
Bach,
and terrible.
Hear me
to
out, Bach. Usually, last time I was working Valorant, you were the desk coach and I was the analyst. But seeing you as an analyst this time around, it's refreshing, man. You've done a fantastic job today.
Likewise.
Anything you want to say before we kick off things tomorrow?
That first series is going to be so incredibly good. And the fact that 100 Thieves and Sentinels, one of them is getting knocked down into the lower bracket tomorrow. The fact that Cloud9 and Energy are playing in an upper semifinal. The semifinals tomorrow shaped up very interestingly, a little bit different than we expected. I thought it'd be Envy and Xset at the bottom. I thought that Envy would make a clear run to the upper finals. It's not the case. So there is a potential that we see a team we didn't expect to see heading to Iceland, and it could just be Cloud9. I mean, who knows with the way that they played today? It's very possible.
Well, we're going to find out because right here in NA, what you've been watching, this is currently the road to Iceland. Remember, 2 out of these 8 teams will go to compete to become the best in the road, hopefully represent our region well. I'm Veli, Bakaman Silly, we're our analysts. We're going to close out this desk. Remember, tune in for the same time tomorrow for the first series of the day, 100 Thieves versus Sentinels. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Available. Spike is just gonna go down in time. This is an actual happen.
Great stop there. Oh, dicey.
My God, J-Mo, the champion of this one.
Wasano gets the triple.